Hi, and welcome again to our daily reflection.
Yes, from the YouVersion app. The verse of the day is Deuteronomy 6, verse 5, a very well-known one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your strength. And of course, this is one that Jesus quoted, but he added a bit to it, didn't he? He had love your neighbour as yourself. But this was what the Jews, the Israelites received from Moses on the mountain, is that right?
That's right.
Love the Lord your God with all your heart and soul and strength.
And it's interesting, amongst all the commandments, and there's lots of them obviously, the 10 commandments, this is the one that they really saw as really central and really important. So when they asked Jesus, what's the most important one? This is the one. This is the one. Yeah.
But still, I'm not quite sure how to get my head. I mean, this was obviously very important to the Israelites, to the Jewish people, and we, by implication, as Christians, take this on as very important as well. Yeah. But how do we access that? How do we grapple with that? Is there any nuance to this that we don't quite understand in our own age?
I'm sure there is. I'm sure there is. I really toy with the word Lord in this. Yeah. Because for us Aussies, lords are people who live way over there in England, in the upper house, and tell us what to do, and we don't like them. And so,
well, they don't tell us what to do because they're not part of the government, really. But that's what a lord does. Yes.
Yeah. Well, that's history in our history. That's part of it. And so I've been thinking a lot about whether the Lord is a very good translation. And recently I was reading a book from a Jewish man suggesting that a good translation of Adonai, or the 4 letters without vowels that mean God in the Hebrew scriptures, would be living presence. Would be a good way to actually to read this and translate it. So love the living presence, your God, with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your strength.
Yeah, so that's harking back a little bit to Moses in the burning bush, isn't it? Because God was a presence in that moment, in that eerie. It must have been weird to have this bush that was burning in front of him.
Exactly. And when Moses said, give me a name, God says, I am who I am. Don't you dare try and put me into a box of a name.
Yeah.
And so while Lord has been a helpful translation through the years, I'm not sure it's always helpful for us today. So when I think of this, love the living presence, your God, I think of, say, our relationship. It's not to say that
You're not putting me on a pedestal, are you?
And what I'm saying is that love is a journey. Love is a moment-by-moment decision. Love is something that happens as we interact, as we walk together, as we live together. And I think this is the same idea that God had with the Jews. I'm your God. I'm going with you through the wilderness into the promised land. So love me as I'm with you, as I'm walking with you. Love me in what happens from day to day and all that you do. And for me, that's sort of, I think...
It's sort of getting there. It's interesting because that word love is so multifaceted, and we tend to use the falling in love phrase with people, but this is different. This is, well, it's not different in a way because it's a decision. You and I have decided to love one another, and we've decided, made certain commitments based on that. With this, it's deciding to love God too, isn't it? There's right. An element of that.
And we tend to think it's a feeling.
Yeah.
But this is a lifestyle. It's a way of living, a way of going about your everyday life in what you do, what you think, how you react. And so I think what God was saying in this is, if you're going to love me, then you will do all the things I ask you to do. You will learn to live my way in the world. And I think that's a good thing for us all to reflect on. What does it mean to love God, or to love the Lord your God, or to love the living presence who is with us all day, every day, and watches over us and cares for us.
And doesn't want to be boxed in, won't be contained into something.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
A bit like you, really.
No, a bit like you too.
Yeah, just that we're always learning more and more about each other. Yeah. And that's what I think God wants for us with him as well. Trust you enjoy that, and think about it. What does it mean for you to love God?
Okay, see you later.
Bye.
Bye.